Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Today is the finale, the season finale of Teen Culture. Can you believe it? All of that time has went by already. I can't believe that 6 weeks has come and gone that fast. Now, you may be wondering why I am holding this napkin in my hand. Real talk, I was tearing up because I know this could be the last time I see y'all for a little while. But guess what, guys? We still have the opportunity to connect every Sunday at Impact Youth Church, 9:15 a.m. in person, 9:50 a.m. on IGTV Live. And then guess what? I think we've gotten the clearance to do something brand new. Teen Culture Drops that's going to be coming to you in bits and pieces throughout the year until we officially kick off the next season, all right? So I had to start the episode and kind of just get that out the way because I don't want the rest of our time together to be sad. I want us to enjoy this episode, this last episode. I want us to enjoy these moments, and I want us to dig deep into what is being said here today. Now, with all of that out the way, today, guys, we are going to be talking about dating. Yes, we are going to be talking about dating and relationships as it pertains to you, teens, and even some of you, young adults. But this episode is going to be different than any of the episodes that we've had in season 1. And it's going to be different than any of the episodes we've had thus far on this season. And here's how it's going to be different. Of course, you know we have to start off with the panel because that's what we do. We always want to hear from you guys first before we kick off anything. But right after the panel, we are going to shift to a conversation that happened here live in studio with none other than Lady Patrice Ellis and some of our young ladies. Listen, a few weeks ago we did something with the guys. We had something for the guys on with Elder Deborah Smith, and she encouraged us, and she really pushed the guys out there. But now we are going to be zoning in on Girl Talk today. Now, if you are a guy, don't sign off, don't log off just yet, because what is going to be said, talked about, and shared is going to be very valuable no matter who you are, and no matter if you find yourself being a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 25-year-old. There is some nuggets in here, guys. So I want you to stay tuned and stay locked in because I am telling you guys, this is going to be hot. All right? So without further ado, let's take it to our panel. Go ahead, go get your popcorn, go get your snacks, go get whatever it is that you usually get around this time. You go get it. Make sure, share, tag, like, comment, tag your friends in the comments, send it out in the inboxes, all of that stuff, because we are officially about to get started. Dating and relationships, Teen Culture season finale, featuring none other than Lady Patrice Ellis. See you in the next segment.
I feel like dating is when you not to say committed to someone, but feeling them out. So y'all would like go out, see how y'all vibe, but not necessarily you owe them loyalty. That's how I feel.
I feel like dating is when you spend time with someone you really care about, and you kind of like test the waters to see if you want to take it further or not.
Dating to me is like when you really, really like somebody and you have feelings for them, and then you start a relationship. That's what I think it is.
I would say like 15 or so, because it's just the right age. Like, what you doing dating when you 10? I feel like you be a little more mature by then, so.
I think 15, 16, around there.
How old are you?
17.
I feel like the acceptable age would be 15, 16. I say that because you want to have some level of maturity. You don't want to be too young and stubborn, or too old and like, okay, I'm already experienced. You want to be young enough and old enough to know what's right from what's wrong, be able to take adult advice. So I'd say 15, 16 is good.
I'd say that for me, 16 and old niggas, I feel like they more mature.
No, I don't.
Yes, I do, and yes, they know.
No, I don't. And they wouldn't know because I don't.
No, I'm single, no girlfriend.
I mean, I had a boyfriend before, and they were fine. They weren't surprised or anything.
They were cool, saying they glad that I getting some experience.
My mom, she would just be like, okay, who is this person? Do I know them? If she doesn't, then she'd want to get to know them. My dad, I don't know.
He wasn't surprised. I still know what he is.
Yes, definitely can.
Yes, very much.
Yes, it can be distracting, and no. I say yes and I say no, because if you have all your stuff together and you're organized and you have your schoolwork prioritized, and then you have friendships and relationships come after, or however you want to put it, as long as God is first, school is second, family and all of that, then I don't think it'll be much of a distraction. But if you also let it consume your time, if you pour all of your time into a relationship with somebody, you can become lost in your goals, what it is you want to achieve. So yes, it can be, and no, it can't.
I mean, yeah, sometimes, like, if you're taking something serious and, like, the girl or the boy getting like, in between your way, yeah.
I feel like you should get it at this age, so you would know exactly what you're looking for in a person. By the time you get older. So.
My age is fine, but I would say wait.
I think that it's good, but it can also wait. I feel like it's good because you have an idea of what it is you want to find in a person, or what it is you like in somebody, and you can go through your little bit of heartbreaks and puppy crushes. I also think that it can wait, because then you would know, okay, I'm just going to focus on this right now. I don't really necessarily want to be bothered with that, if you're that type of person. So yeah.
For my age, so they can be prepared for the future.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Culture. This is a special segment where we're going to be talking about dating and relationships in the 21st century, and our special guest today is Lady Ellis. How are you doing, Lady Ellis?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Nice.
I was just going to start us off with our first question. Dating and relationships, Aja, in the 21st century, modern times.
Yes. So my
Yeah.
first question is, Lady Ellis, do you think there is too fast in Christian dating?
It's too fast in any day. Because you're Christian doesn't make it different. Too fast is too fast. All right? There's speed limits on the road. When you're driving, you have those. When you go past that, it doesn't matter. You could be rushing to a funeral, rushing because your house burning down, rushing to the hospital. Too fast is too fast. Now, what is too fast is a whole nother story. Okay, so I don't know what's your definition of too fast.
Give us an example, Aja. Too fast.
Too fast.
What do you think?
You're like dating and you're dating and kissing and going out and bringing them around the family. Would you consider that like too fast, especially for a young age, like 15, 16, 14? How do you feel about it?
Whoa. 15?
15, like, yes, what is your take on it?
That making my heart beat fast already.
Yes.
15 dating. I don't know. I don't know that I would encourage that. Not dating in the concept as I would think dating is. When I'm thinking about dating, I'm thinking about, singling out people that you are hanging out with. And it's usually people of the opposite sex.
Yes.
So, as a parent, I think the first thing is, I think one of the things that's important is that you need to know your child. Have a good sense of your child. The people that they're quote unquote going out with, you also need to have a sense of them. Not that you can ever get that in totality, because everybody's pretending.
Yes.
And pretending when they are around parents or older people. What is too fast? I think too fast is anything that is arousing other things that should be inappropriate at that particular time. So we know once we start kissing, then we start feeling. We start rubbing, we start feeling some kind of way, and then there's something in us that wants to do more than just kissing.
Yes.
Because we feeling good. And then we watch those movies and all of that, and we see, and we're curious. We want to know. We don't want to get in trouble, but we want to know what is all of this? What's all the
What's all the hype about?
the ahs about? Like, we want to have
Yeah.
that kind of experience. So one, you need to know yourself as a person, but at 15, how much do you know?
But sometimes people mature faster than others.
So what is mature? Because you have more breasts than me.
No, not at all.
Okay, so what is mature? What do you consider?
Because you're saying
mature?
somebody at
thinking.
15 could be more mature than somebody at
At
20.
20, yes.
I hear you. Good point.
Mentally,
Yeah.
Okay, and that is true.
yes.
That is true. But what about the person that you're dating?
Is he mature? That's another thing too.
That is another thing.
Yeah.
And what are we spending our time doing?
That's another thing too. For real.
So if we go out on a quote unquote date and we're simply talking, that's still dating. We don't have to be touching and feeling. Because you would find out that at the end of the day, really getting to know that person is really what's most important. For the long haul, that's most important, not just for right now. Because after let's assume that you get married.
Yes.
Let's assume that you have a family. Let's assume that at some point in time you have an empty nest. Then it's just you and this person you married. You need to know that person. Because that person would have changed over the years in many ways. And so would you. So by the time the children leave, it's almost like this is a stranger, kind of.
Yeah.
That you're kind of getting to know all over again.
Facts. Facts.
You lost so much time because everybody busy with the children. So here I am changing right in front of you and you don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm changing and I don't even know. And then the children go, it's me and you, and then suddenly we realize, like, first of all, I don't know if I know you, then I don't know if I still like you anymore because you've become a different person.
That's good.
So that foundation is so important. So I think, I don't know that it's fair to really put an age to it, right?
Yeah.
I think parents need to know their child. I think parents need to have a good sense of who their child/children are dealing with as best as they can. And because you're from a good family doesn't mean that you're good, so to speak. How many kids you know are from quote unquote good families, but they're so contrary to what they grew up with.
Yes.
Does that make them good or bad? I don't know that you can really label it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, because when people are different from where they grew up, there's a lot of things that's going on behind the scene that's underneath all of that, that's causing whatever to happen. So you need to know your child. You need to know the people as best as you can, the people that your children are going out with. And then you establish some guidelines. There's no guarantee that those kids are going to do what you say. Most times they don't. But as a parent, your responsibility is to say, to guide, so they know. If they choose to do different, then that's kind of on them. And when a child gets of a certain age, then I can't be responsible for your behavior. That's not on me anymore.
What about dating and careers? What if dating and careers?
Okay.
So you have good opportunities. You're building a name or life for yourself, but along the way you meet somebody that you feel that you want to spend the rest of your life with. How do you find that balance? Or how do you choose between your career or the rest of your life in a way?
So that's where communication comes into play. I think at the end of the day, ultimately, communication is the number one thing in a relationship. Be it with your parents, be it with your friends, be it with a partner, be it with whomever you're interacting with. So how do you choose? You choose based upon, one, what you want for yourself, and that's why it's important to align yourself with people that kind of have the same vision as you, that are going in the same direction, that are wanting the same thing. Because I'm telling you, opposites attracting is not cool. That sounds good because it's like, okay, where I'm weak, this person is strong and all that stuff. And that's fine to a certain extent. But at the real core of a relationship, the opposites attracting, I'm telling you,
It's not gonna end well.
How could it? I've been married 38 years. Opposites attracting. When the children then gone now, it's just me and this person. And suddenly we discover we don't like the same things. We're just very, very different. Those same things might have existed when you were dating, but because you so want to be with the person, you're being deceptive.
Yeah.
You're lying. Do you want to go to a basketball game? Yeah, sure. Why? What is that really? I just want to be with
Quality
you.
time with you. Yes.
But is it really quality time? Because you're attending an event
That
that
you
you
don't
have
like.
no interest in. You probably don't even understand. So how is that quality time? You're enjoying what you're doing. I'm with you. But I'm not enjoying what we're doing. I'm not enjoying you while we're doing what you're doing, because that's not what I want to do. I can't meet you anywhere there. I'm just present.
Don't you think we have to compromise a little
Yeah.
in instances like that, though, Lady Ellis, where our partner might like something and we may not be head over heels for it? Don't you think we have to, even if we ain't so invested in it, we just have to I guess the word I'm trying to say is pretend.
Yes,
Don't you
and
think we have to
all of
pretend?
us,
Pretend a little bit.
all of us do that, but the level of consistency of that and the longevity of that.
Yeah, over time.
Over time. So
Yeah.
here's what usually
Good point.
happens is we pretend, and let's say we dated for 3 years before we get married. Okay, let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
So when Bishop and I were dating, well, we were friends first. Like you guys are probably friends. Like we were like that. So there was no coming after each other because I like you. Then that friendship became a best friendship where we knew everything about each other. When my mommy got on my nerves, like he knew every single thing because he was my best friend. Okay, that still holds today. All right. I think part of the reason he might have even asked me to marry him was because he knew so much. Okay? So, anyway. That's for an off-camera conversation. Okay? He knew so much. Now, what was the point I was really trying to make there?
We're talking about best friends and how you have to pretend.
Yes. So,
in
okay,
the partner,
so at some point in our friendship, well, by that time relationship, Bishop had an afro, right? So imagine your Bishop with an afro. He had an afro. Well, that was the in thing.
Yeah.
The afros, the polyester pants, the high heel platform shoes, the silk floral shirts. That was the in thing.
Black power.
Yeah. So he would say something to me like, well, first of all, he liked his afro plait. So I would sometimes plait it.
Braids. That's
Well,
what you mean.
braids or
Cornrow.
or plait it.
Okay,
Not
okay.
necessarily cornrow.
Oh, okay,
Well,
okay.
cornrow depended on how long it was.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay,
So you
okay.
had big afros and you had small afros.
Okay.
So here it is, I'm scraping the hair or I'm plaiting the hair, right? Well, that's all we're doing. So we get married now, and he says, well, Trees, could you come scrape my hair? And I'm like, man, I won't scrape no hair. Like, I for that. He was like, but when we were dating, you did it. I said, because I wasn't doing anything else for you. Anything else mean literally anything else. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
So talk about the compromise there.
Yeah,
So now once we get married, somehow I feel, you know, like I have this real opportunity. I can be my authentic self
With
now.
you, yes.
Once I'm married, to the point where I can say, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I never liked doing that.
Good.
And the reason I did it was because I wasn't doing anything else for you, but I never really liked doing it. So yes, I think there is that level of deception is a strong word, but that's kind of what it is, because you're trying to prove to the person and they to you that you and they are the right person for each of you.
Okay, that's good.
So I think it's how far you take it and what it is. I mean, the scraping here ain't no deal breaker. Ain't no deal breaker. If you're gonna leave me in the marriage because I ain't scraping your hair, well, that's a really bad thing. So it depends on what it is you're pretending, compromising on. Family matters, go into family gatherings. I don't like your mommy. I never really liked your mommy. So imagine telling me that after we marry.
Mother-in-law kind of thing.
So I think it depends on what that is. But let's try to be as authentic and truthful as possible.
Yeah.
Speaking on that, a lot of the topic in our age range of dating is now that a lot of women have standards for themselves.
Yeah.
We're considered high maintenance,
Yeah.
or we're considered too much because we require a little bit more than the bare minimum, you know? We
Right.
realized that at one point the standard was the bare minimum and people took that. But now we decide this is not what we want. We want the flowers. We want people to open the car doors for us. We want just a little more. We don't want to settle.
But how do we know that that is what you want when we grew up in an environment where that was not? We didn't see that. I'm not saying we, I'm just talking, so I'm kind of taking the posture of the male person. I never saw my dad do that. I never saw my mother require that.
You didn't see your mommy in a husband relationship, but when you got married, you know when you was dating and then eventually got married, you know how to take care of your boyfriend.
I didn't know.
You learn.
I learned.
So why they can't learn?
And you communicate that.
Gotta teach them how to do it.
Well, call it teach.
I grew up in a
If
household.
that's what you wish, but you have to say to them if it's that important to you.
Yeah.
If it's that important to you, then you need to have the conversation. If the lack of opening a car door makes you feel some kind of way, then you have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Either you say to the person, "This is what I would like." No, you don't even know how to open a car door. You can't do it like
It's
that.
not that, like, in my experiences in dating so far, I grew up in a household where my dad did everything for my mom. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He opened the car doors. He just randomly bought her flowers, just like the random text to say "I love you," and just being like, I grew up with the dynamic of like my father being a perfect gentleman towards my mom.
Okay.
So when dating, when introducing myself to dating, I always start off saying like, "This is what I'm used to," and then the first thing I'm met with is, "Oh, you high maintenance.
Bougie.
Oh, you too
Yes,
bougie."
I'm
And it's just like
Story in my
that's not it. I mean, that's just what I'm used to. Like, I know we're different, and I know that not everybody grew up like me, but I'm just letting you know this is what I'm used to, or this is what I would like to see in a relationship, and it makes dating hard.
Okay, and so it's because that person is not willing to meet you where you are.
Yeah, good, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of men in general, a lot of guys our ages now, they feel like we should just either settle for the bare minimum.
Yeah.
It's like
Take whatever they give in.
it's like you better take what I give, unless you're gonna end up like alone. You know what I mean? And
So then you have a decision to make.
Chuck up my deuces. I'm out of here.
but like,
That's what.
You have a decision to make.
That's what.
If it's that important to you,
Yeah.
then you might need to, suffice it to say, you might need to begin to look at a bit older than your age group per se, because your age group isn't meeting you where you are. I'm not saying go to somebody who's 20 years older than you, because that's a whole nother story. And while that might seem fine right now, 20 years down the road, that's really a whole nother story.
And I hear that sometimes they'll be older and they still ain't catering to you
Right.
the way you want to be
That
catered
is-
to.
So I think the thing, Kristen, there is to have the conversation. You can't necessarily make the comparison in a broad way. You need to have the conversation and say, listen, and not listen. You find a way to dialogue with the person and say what you would rather. The Bible talks about doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. Well, for me, I hear that and that holds, but I think you should do unto others as they want you to do unto them, kind of. So we're back to communication and the whole love language. What does love language mean to you? And your father could have done all of that to your mother, for your mother, but is that what she wanted?
that is also
See, that's a whole nother story. Because I could be showing you love as I know it, but that's not what you
that
want.
don't mean nothing to you.
Because that's not what you want. Love to you means something totally different.
That's
You
a good
know?
point.
So that's a real big deal there. Communication is absolutely important, and the only way for me to know what you want is for you to tell me what you want.
Love
So just
languages.
without-
What you want. Pardon?
Just listen out and say it.
No, you have a way to say it. Everything's relative. If you say something to me a certain way,
Give us an example.
I'm gonna hear that through a certain air. And then you have to choose your time when you say certain things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I could say something to you today, I come back next week, I say that same thing, but because you're in a different mental
mood,
space, emotional space, or you're anticipating what I'm going to say because you feel you know me so well, then you're taking that in a whole different way.
True.
But I said the same thing to you last week.
right.
But you were in a different place, so you received it differently.
Yeah.
Relationships are a lot of work. Relationships are ongoing.
Yeah.
You never stop working on them.
Yeah.
You say, well, oh, you changed. No, I didn't change. I'm kind of becoming a different person
Right.
based on my experiences that I've already had and the experiences that I'm having now, and possibly even the experience I'm having with you. it's causing me to function in a different way.
Yeah.
So communication. I could say that 10 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the crux of the matter. Ain't no need you send me flowers if I don't really
Want them.
like flowers.
Yeah. Love languages, boy. So
I have
true.
one more question about gender roles in dating as well, because
Mhm.
I have been on a few dates where I would have to be the one to pick the guy up, you know what I mean? Or I'd have to be the one to plan the date, and then when we get there, it's like, oh, like you invite me on a date, but I have to pay half, or you expect me to pay for the date because like you interested in me, right? You should pay for the date, you know what I mean? The dating pool in the
Need
early
chlorine.
in the early to
It need
early to
chlorine.
late 20s is kind of a cesspool because men nowadays they throw equality in your face
Okay.
and they make it seem like
Should be 50-50.
it should, but like if you want 50-50, talk that to me or
Yeah.
like see what I like, but don't throw it on me like you say women expect too much. If you express interest, especially if
Yeah.
the
You
male
pursuing me.
if you're pursuing me,
You pursuing me.
if you're pursuing me, then I feel like there should be some times where you treat me, and like I don't mind reciprocating that energy.
Yes.
But I kind of feel like a lot of the males nowadays don't want to do the work to show a girl that they're interested. A lot of guys are
Preach.
do not show the.
Preach.
They don't let you see that they're interested. Like
Yeah.
we have to keep playing the guessing game
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
so,
yes,
so
yes.
here's,
Very annoying.
Yes,
So here's
good
the
point.
thing with that.
Good point.
So then again, you have to make another decision. Is this
Chuck
the
my deuces
kind?
up again.
Is this the kind of person that you want to spend the rest of your
Nah,
life with?
gotta go.
Because that disposition is going to play straight through the relationship,
Wow.
into the marriage as well.
So I gotta
You're
go.
going to have to be the visionary. You're going to have to say, okay, it's time for us to do this. It's time for us to move from here. You're going to have to be that person. You're going to have to be the pursuer always,
Wow.
pretty much.
Wow.
I still feel like there should be equal effort because if I'm interested in you and you're interested in me, we both should be showing how interested we are in each other. I
Right.
shouldn't have to keep I shouldn't have to keep forcing it out of you. I
Right.
shouldn't have to keep begging you to do certain
Right.
things.
Doing all the work.
right.
Basically.
It's very hard.
I
So
feel that.
again, it's this whole opposites thing attracting again. That's why it's important to try and be with people that are of like mind.
It would be nice if they existed. Like I said, the
Well,
dating pool of a lot
the
of people our
search-
age is very,
The
very
search
hard.
has to continue. It's either that or you go somewhere else to another culture where things might be a little bit different.
Gotta change countries.
But like men will
Maybe.
men straight across the board.
I don't think so. I don't think men are men straight across the board. I think, one, it depends on what you want, what you're willing to settle with. I think culture plays a very, very important part in it. But when you find somebody that you think you really, really want to spend the rest of your life with, if you're at that point, then I think there are some decisions you're gonna have to make. Now, you're never gonna get 100%.
It's the
It ain't 100% of what you want. So we have to look at the things that you do want, see whether or not those do exist. Have the conversation, and they have to be important things. So your value systems have to be the same. You have to be going and thinking in the same direction. Now, if he's not dressing the way you want him to dress, and that's important to you, then you got to try and fix him up.
Yeah.
You got to try fix him up kind of to be and look like this person that you kind of hope that you want. But how very, very important is that at the end of the day, other than for your photos?
It's important. I feel like it's important because,
Raise your voice.
I mean, I was brought up, you need to know when and what to wear. It's a certain occasion.
Right.
You're supposed to dress a certain way.
Swag.
Right.
You could have your swag, right? But not everywhere is basketball pants and slippers and socks.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
need to learn how to dress.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do it.
Okay, so then you need to get that information over to him if that is important to you. But again, it's the way you're going to do it.
How are you going to communicate that in an effective way?
Well, effective for him.
Yeah.
Because effective for us could be
Not effective for him.
It could be a turn off. It
Yeah,
could be
rowing.
insulting. It could be. embarrassing. It
True.
could be intimidating.
True.
So while he has some other qualities, he just don't know how to put his rags together.
Which
Why, you're gonna
for me,
abandon the relationship?
while it may be
because-
different for those three, that might be a big thing for me, because if I decide that I want to step out to the my public and say this is who I'm with,
Right.
it's just, I think there's a certain standard that needs to be met, and I feel like it may be a little of a high maintenance moment for
Right.
me.
Yeah.
But as somebody whose life depends on
Appearances.
a parent, yes,
Okay.
it's like, I know it's
You need an ASAP Rocky.
no, baby.
You need something like that. No,
Good,
no.
no.
Appearance wise.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
that's-
Fashion king.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
But
well,
I was just saying, like, as somebody
Uh-huh.
whose life depends on being in the public eye, I think it's very important the way you present yourself, because I can't come around to my followers and say, this is my boyfriend, and he look like he's fresh off the basketball court from practice. I can't do that.
Well, then you need to find somebody possibly in your line of work
Okay.
that will be in sync with what it is that you're doing, and
Yeah.
hope that that person possess the other qualities
Yeah, the
that
non-negotiables.
the basketball looking guy
had.
has.
Yeah.
Social media is a toxic place. So dating someone within your field could either be a really good thing or a really bad thing. So a lot of people in the public eye normally tend to go for partners who are not really into the same thing that you into. You kind of look for a slight opposite.
Yeah.
It's like me. I wouldn't date somebody who's an influencer as well, or whose life depends on being in the public eye. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people would micromanage my relationship a little too much.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
would date somebody a little bit off the scene, or who doesn't even care for social media at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's a challenge in and of itself right there, because a person who's off the scene, not into social media, might not be able to deal with the world that you live in.
That's what makes it so hard.
So that's a whole nother story.
right.
Yeah. That's a
You
good
see?
point. That's a good
They,
point.
I
Yeah.
mean, so then suddenly
They break up the
Kristen's. This is Kristen's husband. This
Right.
is Kristen's boyfriend. The person doesn't have a name. Can that person deal with that? So decisions have to be made on both sides.
good
Like,
point.
are you willing to put up with this, and am I willing to put up with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And are you going to use your whatever that is to position him a certain way? There's only so much that I can do that's outside of my realm and or my natural ability and giftings.
Okay, say you're dating someone and then y'all get in a relationship and they doing everything right, but as soon as y'all get in a relationship, they just fall off and they just start doing their own thing, like as if they was pretending until they
Wow.
get you, and then they just.
The true colors.
But
True
then
colours.
you like them
very
and you don't want
ghetto.
to leave them,
Yeah.
so you just try.
Ooh,
So you just
you preaching.
put up with it, but you're not
That depends on what those things are.
like the same red flags I was talking about.
So then you have a decision to make. And if you are willing to stick with somebody like that, where's that coming from? What is it about you that's causing you to remain or to want to remain with somebody
Yeah.
like that?
You know.
When you know something different. And when this is your sister, you heard what she said, when you saw something different in operation. So you know what it could be. Why would you settle? Is that really what you want deep down inside?
Yeah, but you might. Okay, so you might be like, maybe you could change them.
Yes.
I don't want to say change them, but change them.
No,
Yes, that's
no,
what
that's
women think.
what you
Yeah.
think.
Or
That's what
like
you think.
don't want to start over with someone else because that's
yes.
just a lot of work.
It's yes.
and
yes.
you were happy, and then it just changed, and you have it. Like maybe it was me,
Yes. Then
And
you
so you
start
think, you know,
questioning yourself.
right? And then, of course, your friend's gonna be like, "Girl, just leave him," and you like,
It ain't that
"I
easy.
like him, but you mean leave him?"
Yeah.
And
So your
how
question.
How do you
So your question.
like deal with it? I guess. Like, do you? I mean, everyone's different. So I could ask you, "Do you stay?" And then you could say no, but then I could still be thinking, "I could stay."
Because I'm not you.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't know how I feel.
Exactly.
About that person. So
Yeah.
how would you?
You're staying for whatever reasons you're staying. And the reason you're staying in a situation like that is coming from somewhere deeper than just your staying.
Like attachment issues or something.
Like a what?
Like attachment issues.
Probably.
I mean, I'm saying me.
No. We're just talking. We're just talking because there's always somebody that fits into. Pardon?
I said I think self-awareness is very important in those kind of situations.
Self-awareness. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But attachment issues, I mean, that's a big deal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know? And that stems from way back as a child.
Yeah, that's trauma, emotionally.
How you functioned, how you were handled, how you were managed. And even in your infancy, you desired a certain thing.
Yeah, and didn't get it.
So that causes. So here's the thing. When I do premarital counseling session, I say to the couple, it has taken this person all of these amount of years to become the person that they are. They're not going to change. As a matter of fact, that which you see that you do not like is going to intensify as time go on. I think you can have an amended person, but I don't know that you will have an absolutely changed person, because who that person is at their core will always be there. It just needs the right occasion, the right trigger, the right something to show itself.
And it'll come out.
Absolutely.
Wow. I wish we had more time to finish this conversation. There's a lot that we touched on, and there's a lot more that I want to talk about. And there's so much. Y'all feel the same way? There's a lot more I want to talk about, and we probably gonna have to do a part 2, Pastor Hannah. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited about the conversation. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we have. Learned a lot. I can't wait for the part 2. Hopefully, if we have it. This is Teen Culture. Join us next time, and we will be happy to have you.
Woo! Man, oh man. Listen. My. That was some hot stuff, y'all. That was some hot. Did you hear that? Woo! Listen, I want to say a special thank you to Lady Ellis for coming through and dropping so much gold, so much major keys, so much wisdom, so much nuggets as we talked about relationships and dating. And I wasn't allowed in the room, guys. I had to watch from afar just like you because it was all girls, but I surely learned a lot as I sat and watched the playback. And I am so excited that it went well. And I know how y'all go. Y'all want to hear about more relationships and dating and sex and, you know, the things teens like to talk about. I know how y'all go. We can talk about that some more in season 3. Better yet, tune into Impact Youth Church and we have you covered from all aspects and all angles. But it has been fun, guys. This season we have went on field trips. We have brought in some new persons, new faces, new entrepreneurs that we've never seen before. This season, we have had musical performances. This season, we've discovered new talent. This season, we've had an international guest, y'all. And this season, we have just learned so much from all of the different things that we've talked about here in these past 6 episodes. And I want you guys, as we continue to do rollouts and as we continue to do drops and we continue to repost some of the sessions, just go ahead, share them with your friends. Go ahead, share it with somebody who you know may be at the place where they can use that bit of encouragement, or they can use some godliness and positivity in their life. I want you to go ahead and do that, right, guys? Because at the end of the day, being a teen is hard. Being a teen is a rough transition. It is brutal. But we decided to create a platform where conversations and the things that concern you are addressed in a fashion where you can learn, where you can understand, and you can appreciate the wisdom behind it. All right, guys? So listen, I still got my tissue in my hand. You know, I ain't scared. I ain't scared to say I cry a little piece. You know, yeah. But you know how the thing go. I can see you again. Right? Of course I will. All right. So guys, Once again, it has been fun hanging out with you for the last 6 weeks. Thanks also to those who are veterans now, who've been here from season 1. Thank you also. Thank you to everyone who tunes in on Sunday on IGTV Live. And then, of course, the Impact Youth family who is there every Sunday at 9:15 a.m. It is Young Rev signing out for the last time this year and the last time this season. I love you guys, and I will see you again, however we decide to engage. Bye. God bless.
Weren't shooting? You all weren't recording that? Well, go back there. You can't replicate that. How do you do that?
That's why I tell you.